It's Monday, May 19th. I'm Erick Erickson. This is your afternoon update. The stories the media wants to bury, the facts that actually matter, and the truth through a conservative lens. We've got 4 top stories today, and every one of them reveals something important about the direction of the country, our economy, our borders, our national security, and the changes to our justice system. Let's break them down. Story number 1, Ray Dalio warns on the treasuries. The markets are nervous, and for good reason. Ray Dalio, the billionaire founder of Bridgewater Associates, one of the most successful hedge funds in the world, is sounding the alarm. He told CNBC that the risk to U.S. treasuries is greater than what Moody's says. In other words, the American government is playing with fire. Dalio, who manages money for nations and corporations around the world, says investors are losing faith in U.S. debt. Here's the backdrop. Washington is now running trillion-dollar deficits annually in peacetime with low unemployment and without a major external crisis. The national debt is now over $36 trillion. Interest payments alone are higher than our entire defense budget. Put plainly, Congress under both parties has been reckless. The Biden administration turned the recklessness into policy. Massive new entitlement spending, no effort to curb inflationary pressure, no effort to balance the books, and now the Republicans have to clean it up. And the solution right now seems to be, well, from the left, to print more money, raise taxes, punish productivity. The right's got to turn the corner with reductions. The fiscal insanity we're watching is not sustainable, and it's dangerous. Dalio is warning that the global financial system is watching us the way a homeowner watches the neighbor's garage slowly catch fire. If bondholders stop trusting our creditworthiness, anything from Social Security payments to military funding becomes compromised. Republicans need to turn to fiscal discipline and fast. That means real entitlement reform. It means hard conversations. And it means ending the myth that we can buy peace through prosperity without paying for it. The collapse won't come tomorrow, but when it comes, it won't be gradual. It'll be sudden, like every financial collapse in history. Story 2, the Supreme Court says Trump DHS can end Venezuelan temporary protected status. The Supreme Court has just issued a ruling that matters deeply, an 8-1 decision, not just on immigration, but on presidential authority. Today, the justices ruled that the Trump administration, and by extension, Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, has the authority to end temporary protected status for nearly 350,000 Venezuelan nationals. Here are the facts. TPS, temporary protected status, is not supposed to be permanent. It's designed for people fleeing war, natural disaster, and short-term crisis. The key word, temporary. But under the Biden administration, TPS turned into de facto amnesty. The Democrats kept extending the protection indefinitely, long after the immediate crisis in Venezuela and other places passed. This wasn't about humanitarian relief. It was about importing those who could prop up the census for Democrats and shield migrants from lawful deportation under the asylum system. Secretary Noem's argument was simple. TPS is being abused. Venezuelan gang activity, especially from the violent Tren de Aragua syndicate, is spreading in American cities, and our communities are paying the price. The left called the move inhumane. They framed it as xenophobia, but what the ruling says clearly is that the executive branch has the authority to end TPS designations when the original justifications no longer apply without a court telling them they can or can't. This is a win for national sovereignty. It's a win for the constitutional order. It's a long overdue reminder that immigration law doesn't exist to make politicians feel virtuous. It exists to protect the American people. Enforcing the law is not cruelty, it's duty. And the Supreme Court just affirmed that duty. Story 3, Ashli Babbitt settlement has been quietly paid out by the federal government. The family of Ashli Babbitt just received a $4.9 million settlement from the U.S. government. The terms are part of a wrongful death lawsuit over her killing during the January 6th Capitol riot. Babbitt, an Air Force veteran, was unarmed. She was shot by Capitol Police as she attempted to climb through a broken window in the Speaker's lobby in an effort to allow entry for the rioters. With the Justice Department now in Trump's hands and Republicans in charge of Congress, it made possible what Democrats and former Attorney General Merrick Garland had been opposed to. Lastly, Trump, Putin, and a call for peace in Ukraine. Former President Donald Trump returned to the office promising peace. He's had a 2-hour phone call with Vladimir Putin this morning, doing what Joe Biden, while in office, couldn't seem to do, broker an end to the war in Ukraine. While Biden's administration hid behind NATO talking points and empty sanctions, Donald Trump picked up the phone, having returned to the office, and talked to the one man who can stop the war immediately. Now, to be clear, there's no ceasefire agreement. Putin is insisting on direct talks with Ukraine, and Trump noted the Vatican has offered to host negotiations, but it's a significant development. Predictably, the media is panicking that Donald Trump is undermining U.S. diplomacy. But what diplomacy? Biden's foreign policy was, well, collapsed, and Trump's president now, and he can clear these things up, and he can intervene to see if there is peace. Under Donald Trump, remember, Ukraine was not invaded, nor was Ukraine. What this call tells us is that there is still possible paths forward, even if you won't break through the technocratic bureaucracy or UN resolutions. This is going to be through leadership. If peace can be achieved, it's going to come not through the fog of international diplomacy, but through clear-eyed negotiations backed by strength and the determination of an American president who wants to bring peace to Ukraine. These 4 stories paint a bigger picture. There's a crumbling fiscal house. The Supreme Court is restoring limits and powers on the executive, and the government is trying to quietly settle the death of Ashli Babbitt. The president is stepping into foreign affairs. Each of these stories matters, not just because they reflect policy, but because they actually reflect values. I'm Erick Erickson. This has been your afternoon briefing. Stay informed, stay grounded. Don't let the media filter reality for you. We'll be back tomorrow with more. As always, you can go to ericerickson.com, hear the show until noon tomorrow where the new show starts, and come back here tomorrow afternoon for the afternoon briefing on all the stories you're going to need to keep you grounded for the rest of the day.